your standard noir novel, Yale and Stone would be punished according to the rules. There would be justice for Sonia, the victim. But this was the real world. As the detective who had cracked the case, I just had to get my paycheck and be on my way.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Blacksad. Mr. Thorpe is on his way. Care to take a seat while you wait?
I guess I'll just have to wait.
He'll be here in a minute. Please take a seat.
No matter how many curveballs destiny throws his way, he always manages to land on his feet. When he was a rising sports talent, the war put an end to his career, so he became a war hero. After the war, he didn't end up like Gil or like me. He became an elite athlete, a Hall of Fame football star. When an accident left him in a wheelchair, he went on to succeed in advertising. The last time I climbed a skyscraper, I had very different intentions. I wasn't there to claim my reward. I was there to punish someone. But what if Tim Thorpe was somehow involved in Mitchell's operation?
Mr. Blacksad? Mr. Thorpe is running later than expected, but he insists on meeting you, if you don't mind.
Sure, as long as you help me fight off this boredom.
That's not in my job description, but...
If I had her markings on my skin, would I be the same person? Would my name be different? Is right. There should be a meeting with Mitchell noted somewhere in Thorpe's agenda. How long have you worked for Tim Thorpe?
Almost 3 years. And I hope it lasts.
Has anything odd happened at the agency lately?
Not on my shift. Perhaps the oddest thing I've seen is a bored detective asking a lot of questions.
Well, you see, I've got a problem. In order to figure out how much Mr. Thorpe owes me, I need to know what day I started working on the case. but I can't remember. You wouldn't have that written down, would you?
It sure wasn't on my shift. I'd remember. Let me see.
What? Dunn was here 2 days before he died? Why didn't Thorpe ever mention that?
I'm sorry, but your name's not on here.
Wait, I just remembered something. The day I came, Joe Dunn had just walked out the door.
Well, no. You don't have any appointments. Although, I guess I could have forgotten to write you in. Mr. Dunn, who's usually very kind, left in a flurry. He even slammed Mr. Thorpe's door.
Okay. Now I know I have to get into Thorpe's office.
And he didn't even say goodbye.
Yes, that was the day. You don't recall me because the minute I saw Dunn stomp out, I followed him. I never actually came in.
Of course. That explains it.
No doubt. So, since it looks like Mr. Thorpe won't be here soon, I think I'll go take a walk down the hall. Gotta stay in shape. Come on, Thorpe. Tell me there's a back door to your office. Should I play the Smirnoff trump card again? Smirnoff didn't know what to think. He asked me to watch out and call him as soon as I had more information. He also told me that Gil had finally talked. He denied having blocked the basement door and said the truck door opened, but he got knocked on the head as soon as he tried to get out. He then woke up when the police found him beside the basement door. Obviously, the same person who had jammed the door had carried him there. So, you had something to do with that chest expander after all. introverts aren't afraid of heights. That's why I've never felt vertigo. In my experience, when something looks really good, it ends up smelling really bad. It's a bit strange to see no office chair behind a desk, until you remember the desk's owner is in a wheelchair. I better not use it. It might be connected to the switchboard at the front desk. Oh, crap. Why am I surprised? In every investigation, there comes a point where every single lead seems to go down the drain. And you have to retrace your steps to get back on the right track. Of course. And one of the strengths, the accuracy of his throw. I earned the nickname Iron Arm. I used to throw the ball in 15 miles. And yeah, when whatever it wanted. And my coach, the great Joffrey Sachs. And so I worked hard. Did Pearl Harbor. I enlisted immediately. After losing a partner in combat, a serious injury, I asked to be relocated. I became a sniper. I know I shouldn't say this, but I was one of the best in the Army, and it was all thanks to my accuracy. No, it was all thanks to Jeffrey Sachs. I wonder how many Americans that man saved with my arm. After these words, Tim Thorpe is moved almost to tears and asks me to take a break. It's shocking to see how an athlete and soldier, a man whose aim and skill won him a Medal of Honor and the nickname Surgeon among his brothers in arms. That can't be. I mean, it could be a coincidence, but no. Of course, it wasn't Mitchell or Gill. It was Thorpe who shot Randall at the hospital. That's it. Thorpe is the man behind the whole drug operation. Everything adds up now. And yet I can already hear Smirnoff telling me I have no conclusive evidence. What if I set a trap for Thorpe? But how? What if I place Thorpe's gun up there and corner him so that he has to stand up to get it? The show was about to begin. All I needed was an audience and some patience.
Stop it!
Arr! Don't you know who you're dealing with, matey?
What a silly man!
Mutiny! You wants to be shark bait, do ya? Blacksad, I feel terrible for keeping you waiting.
John,
But you see, there was mutiny on board, so...
stop!
See what I have to put up with. All right, helmswoman, to the cabin with you! Onward!
Aye, Captain.
Come along, Blacksad. Julie, don't let anyone bother us. Honey, will you wait in the boardroom for me, please?
But,
I'll just be a minute then. I think you've already suffered enough.
okay.
And think about where you'd like to have dinner tonight, okay? You see, I'm not gonna pay you for solving the case.
Wow. I thought you were the kind of man who is true to his word.
No, it's not that. You'll get every penny we agreed on, and more. But not because you solved the case, but for her. 2 days ago, she wanted to end it all. Drop out of college, sell the gym. Too many wounds to heal. But through your incredible work, you managed to heal them. Well, perhaps not completely. It takes time to get over something like this. But at least, thanks to you, Sonia wants to be happy. She has hope. I'm going to help her make Dunn's gym the best in the city. Who would have ever guessed it, huh?
I'm happy for her. She's been through a lot, and honestly, I wasn't sure she'd make it.
Well, she hasn't just yet. But she will in time. Anyway, back to the case. All those people you confronted. Gil, the German doctor, even Mitchell. Huh. I would have never suspected him. Did they say anything? Why did they do it? Did they mention any accomplices?
They did mention a certain surgeon.
Surgeon? You have any idea who that could be?
A journalist told me. Ring a bell?
I'm sure you've got good intentions, but you're wrong. What makes you think that? I'm sure there's an explanation.
I know you ordered Randall Lee to kill Joe Dunn. And you tried to frame Bobby Yale, who had recently given up your medical services.
Joe was my friend. Don't you get it?
Don't deny it. I know Mitchell gave him to you.
People see a wheelchair and think, poor guy, he can't walk. But there's so much more to it than that. Some nights I can't even sleep from the pain.
That doesn't explain why you didn't tell me you knew about those drugs.
I hired you to solve this damn case. You think that's what a murderer would do?
Only because you thought I'd blame Bobby Yale and drop the case. But as soon as I realized something wasn't right, you sent Randall Lee and Gil to give me a scare. And when all that failed, you ordered Lee to kill me.
You're the type that won't open his jaws once he's got his prey, aren't you?
I think I've made that clear enough by now.
Put yourself in my place for a minute. You're a promising football player who just got back from the war, but you're still a nobody. The man you saved kindly opens his house to you, and that man is still undone by his wife's passing. He works all day at his gym, and he drinks himself to sleep at night. So you practically end up raising his daughter. You give her her very first abacus. You encourage her to further her education. You comfort her when she misses her mother and her father. Meanwhile, your sporting career takes off. Life is good. Until one day, out of the blue, an accident cripples you. An old friend, Mitchell, tells you he knows someone who can help you. A German doctor. His drugs take some time to work, but they do wonders. You manage to walk for short bursts at a time, little by little. And those bursts keep getting longer. But the drugs aren't cheap at all. So you have to find a way to pay for them, don't you see?
So you decided to start an advertising agency focused on product endorsement by athletes. And then it occurred to you to sell them those same drugs you were taking. Drugs would help them excel, and you'd get better ad deals. The perfect business model. Your first client? Craig Spano. His career had hit a rough patch, so... He was the guinea pig for your new operation. And yet, when the drug started having serious side effects, you got rid of him. Afraid he would talk, you tried to kill him. That's why he hid. From then on, your business was smooth sailing. You even began to think you were above the law. You thought that you were untouchable. Until Joe Dunn found out, and then, 2 days before his unfortunate death, he came to see you.
That's enough now! You stop it! Now, I don't know if I'm above the law, but I am sure as hell not beneath it. Do you know how much power I have? The kind of people I eat with every day? I could shoot you right now, and nothing would happen to me.
With that gun you keep in your drawer? I'm afraid not. I placed your pistol out of reach, just in case you happen to confirm my suspicions, Ironarm. And now, if you'll excuse me, I have an appointment with the police.
I won't let anyone wreck my life again. Sonia and I, we deserve a future.
You can come in now, Smirnoff.
Timothy Wilson Thorpe, drop your weapon. You're under arrest. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, the state will provide one for you. Mr. Thorpe.
No. 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 Oh my God. After everything that had happened, the last thing I was interested in was the fight. Did Yale take drugs before the fight? Did Stone let him win? I had done everything in my power for things to go the way my moral compass dictated. Whether anyone would listen to me, that was another story. Because no matter what they tell us, our actions don't always determine our future. My moral compass. As if I even knew what that means. I didn't even know what to think of my performance throughout the case. Did I have a clear conscience? Would I have made the same decisions, given the chance?